In my experience, our clients tend to overemphasize the importance of bullets on an Amazon listing, which is to say that they think that the bullets on an Amazon listing contributes more heavily to the actual sales of the product, and that's not really true. Now, keep in mind, our clients are Amazon brand owners, private label sellers, and even resellers. And one of the things that I always like to say that if a customer that is an Amazon customer is reading your bullets, then you have done something terribly wrong with your images. Now, that's not always true, and to be fair, if you have a very technical product or something like that, it could be that there's just no possible way to get all the details in the images, or maybe it's not really necessary to get all the details in the images, and there's erroneous or very detailed things that only a small number of people would need to know, and that goes in the bullets. But besides that, for 90% of the products that we look at, if a Amazon customer is reading your bullets, you have done something terribly wrong. And the reason for that is because images are the new bullets. Today, we're looking at a listing that is in dire need of an update. We're going to take a look at it together, and I'm going to share with you 3 tips that you can use right away to utilize the reviews section to actually generate ideas for what should go in your images. All right, so let's dive into it. First, I want to point out that this listing is not representative of all of the listings from this brand. If you were to look at their other listings on Amazon, you would see that they're mostly really good. This product is mostly sold by Amazon. They're even selling this product here, somewhere down here. Yep. So Amazon is selling this product, and I think what's happening is this is one of those kind of like wild errant listings out there that maybe just got sucked into the catalog. It may have been created by resellers. For whatever reason, Amazon has not updated this listing for them. But their other listings do look very good, and they do match their brand. But this one doesn't, and it caught my attention, and so we're going to take a look at it. One of the things that caught my attention about this, by the way, is the fact that it does have so many great positive reviews for a relatively poor quality listing. And you'll also notice that Amazon chose to bring these to the top of the website, top of the listing. So these 2 terrible reviews here, and both of them are the same problem, that the product is shipping without the right stuff. Now, these are from all the way back in 2020, so that's kind of a bummer that Amazon is dragging this out for 3 years on this poor product. But regardless, let's get into what we're talking about today. So this is a perming product, so it's used by salons. This company bills itself as salon quality products. All of their products are like that. So what we see a lot of the time with brands and how they use their bullets is they tend to focus a lot on getting the copywriting correct in the bullets. There might be an emphasis on the structure, especially private label sellers. They like that big copy, big all capitalized copywriting in the front, followed by lowercase, which, by the way, a lot of people do wrong, but I'll talk about that in another video. And there's nothing wrong with doing those things, except that what we find ourselves doing a lot of times is sacrificing keywords in order to make nice copy for the bullets. But the problem with that is that your bullets don't exist to convert. They're there as a backup if something is going wrong with your images, but their number one functionality is really traffic. This is one of the top 2 places where your listing can index for keywords. After the title is the bullet. So the most important thing about your bullets is getting keywords in there, right? Even if that requires a little bit of keyword stuffing, you still want it to look, legible. But there's a line that our clients like to go over where they're like, let's take out these keywords or shuffle the words around, and you start breaking up your search phrases and your search terms in order to try and increase conversions with better copywriting or a more authentic brand voice. But you're missing the point. People aren't really reading it. The only thing reading this is going to be Amazon's search algorithm. And so we want to make sure that the search algorithm can read it well and understand what it is and rank you. So that's what we see clients doing. So let's talk about how to actually get the images up to snuff and some ideas for putting messaging in those images. All right, so remember that images and video are what sell the product, okay, not the bullets. And so let's take a look at things that you can say in your images by using the reviews. I'm going to share 3 tips right now, so let's get into it. So The first tip is to use both positive and negative reviews. So what are we looking for when we're looking at reviews? So I'm going to share a few examples, but the idea is that you're looking to get an idea of what people love about the product with the positive reviews. And you can basically farm the reviews to come up with ideas for the things that people think are the most important. And this is an important point. A lot of times, brand owners, our copywriters, we have ideas about what we think the customer wants to know about the product. Okay, if you're a brand owner or a private label seller, you probably have spent a lot of time on your features and your benefits and your points of differentiation and your unique selling propositions and so on and so forth. And you know what you want to say to your customers about your product. But what you may be missing, what I may be missing, what the copywriter may be missing, is what your customers want to hear about the product. And so the reviews don't lie. The themes that come up very often in reviews are usually what clients or what your customers on Amazon want to hear and need to see in the images in order to purchase the product. So let's look at some reviews. All right, so what we're looking for when we're mining our reviews are themes that we can use to start forming ideas around what kind of images we want. So I've been scrolling through here on the reviews and I'm up to like page 3 or 4 or something like that. And there's a couple of themes that keep appearing. One, that it's low odor. So that seems to be something that people find important and that they like talking about in the reviews. So that's something that you can mention. And then there's something else that I've noticed. You could see here, easy to use and didn't stink. But there's also this one that keeps coming up. Perm was a good value. People mention frequently that the price of it is very good. Now that's a little bit harder to put into the images, but it's an example of an idea that you could start forming some image copy around. All right, but you could do the same thing with negative reviews. Now, you wouldn't want to use the negative reviews for your own product. You would want to use the negative reviews of a competitor product. So let's take a look at what those would look like and how you could use it. So because I don't want to go hunting around for a competitor product, I'm going to create this example using this existing listing. We'll just pretend it's a competitor. So what you want to do is you start by grabbing only 3-star reviews. Now, why 3-star reviews? Why not 4-star? Or why not 2-star? Why not 1-star? Well, what you would find if you filter down to those very low-star reviews is that they tend to be a lot of fulfillment-related stuff. Arrived broken, didn't show up at all, that kind of stuff, which is not helpful for us. We want to know what people were thinking when they left a 3-star review, because a 3-star review is like, it could have been good, but if it was just for this one thing that would have pushed it over the edge for me. And they tend to be descriptive about what they're looking for. So let's see if we can find those kinds of reviews in these 3 stars. All right, so this product is really pretty good because all of the 3-star reviews are also really fulfillment based. But I did find a couple that would be an example of the kind of thing we would look for in a competitor. So this one is saying did not work on my hair. Okay, so that's not really great. You can't just say, works on your hair. That's not very helpful, because when you're going to do with these negative reviews is you want to do the opposite. So as an example, down here they say it's drying. It gives a good curl, but it's drying to the hair. Okay, so that's something that you can work with. If I saw a lot of reviews that say that it dries out your hair, then to me that means that that's something that's important to clients or important to customers and that you can use in your copywriting. So you might say that this is moisturizing if that happens to be true about your product. Another one that I saw that could be potentially spun up into an interesting copy is that there's no wrapping paper to use with. So I've never used something like this, but I get the impression that there's some kind of paper that this customer may have expected to come with it. So if your product did have it, and if you saw stuff like this frequently in the reviews, then that could be something that you organize a review or an image idea around. All right, so let's talk about tip number 2. A lot of times, and now this is one of my favorite tips, by the way, I tell this to my copywriters, it's a trick I've used for years. Copywriters love doing this. You can actually use the verbatim language out of the reviews in order to write headline copy or body copy or something like that. And the reason that this works is because your Amazon customer who's writing a review on Amazon is sharing their authentic experience in their own authentic words, and sometimes those authentic words just happen to be fantastic copy. So let's look at an example of that really quick. All right, so we're looking at this review, and you could see already that this is just fantastic copy. Low maintenance hair can be yours too. This is just packed with all kinds of great stuff. Low maintenance hair is a benefit. It can be yours too is good copywriting, possessive, putting the reader in the driver's seat. So I would use that headline just as is. And I found it right here in the reviews. But if you go on, I would imagine that this person is a writer of some sort, maybe even a copywriter, but they go on. If you want to straighten or perm your hair at home, this is the safest, gentlest way to do it. So you could take copy like this: the safest, gentlest way to perm your hair at home. That's another headline for potentially another image. Okay, so here's another one. My hair is shiny, straight, and no muss, no fuss every morning when I wake up. I can launch into my day with lightning speed these days. So you can't necessarily take this one, but you can be inspired by it. Get your day started with lightning speed, or get your day started quickly with this no muss, no fuss, permanent hair, whatever. Okay, so that's a great way to just take the actual words being used in reviews and use them to your benefit. All right, so the last tip I want to share with you is not quite related to reviews. It's related to the question and answer section of Amazon. So if you have ever considered the question and answer section or looked at the question and answer section, I want you to think about something. These are people who really wanted to buy the product. I mean, if you just think about like what it takes to submit a question to Amazon, right? You go to the listing, you're browsing probably half a dozen different products. You have a question about this one product, and you're going to submit the question and hope that somebody on the internet answers you, whether it's the seller or another buyer or something along those lines, right? You're intending to wait to get that answer back. In a world where, we can buy something on Amazon and have it at our house the next day, these people want to wait for an answer. So they're very motivated to buy. So what does that mean? It means that if they had already had the answer to their question, they would have already purchased from you. So your question and answer section should be looked at as a place to mine ideas around confusion. Like, what are people getting hung up around? How can you educate them ahead of the sale so that they can go right to buying without any other issues? So let's take a look at the question and answer section on this listing and see what insights we can get from it. All right, so here we are looking at the question and answer section of this listing. And, typically what I like to do is I like to go through as much of them as I can. This has 4 pages. We're not going to go through all 4 pages. But just like with the reviews, you're starting to look for themes that you can start organizing your ideas around. And already I can see one big theme coming up. And I see this a lot of time with products that I'm auditing or that I'm optimizing, which is who is this for, right? That's not defined very well. And you can see that in some of these questions. Can this be used for a loose perm with extra large rollers? Can this be used with spiral rods for a spiral perm? And then down here, can this be used for men's down perm? I don't know what that means, but basically, how can I use this, right? So imagine if this brand created an image that answered all those questions. Here's all the ways that you can use this product. Here's all the people that this is for. Here's all the different curlers that are appropriate to use with this product. Then all of those people would have bought already. And all of the people that didn't even bother to stick around to see what the answer to the question is, they're already gone. So you can get them back as well. So this is a very powerful way to start looking for ideas for your Amazon images. If you'd like even more tips about how to optimize your Amazon listing, or more ideas for what should go into your gallery images or your A+ content, or even what a storefront is for, then check out our other videos. This is what we talk about all the time. This is what we do all the time. And if you would like to have us audit your listing, audit your brand on Amazon, just go to amzbrandaudit.com and fill out the questionnaire, and we will be happy to audit your brand on Amazon for you. Thanks for watching, and check out our other videos.